Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a pivotal moment of World War II, a battle that completely changed the rules of naval warfare, the Battle of the Coral Sea. This wasn't just another clash of ships. It was the first time in history that naval fleets fought without ever seeing each other. Imagine that, a battle fought entirely by pilots, hundreds of miles from their ships, high above the waves of the Pacific. So, let's set the scene. It's early 1942. Japan, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, is on a roll, expanding its empire across the Pacific. Their next big target, Port Moresby, in New Guinea. Taking it would sever the lifeline between the United States and Australia, effectively isolating Australia and putting it under immense threat. But the Allies, thanks to brilliant codebreakers, knew what was coming. American and Australian forces scrambled to intercept the Japanese invasion fleet, setting the stage for an unprecedented showdown. The battle kicked off on May 4th. For the first few days, it was a deadly game of hide-and-seek. Aircraft from both sides crisscrossed the vast ocean, hunting for the enemy's most valuable assets, their aircraft carriers. Early skirmishes saw the Allies lose the destroyer USS Sims and the oiler USS Neoshu, a painful blow to their logistics. Then, on May 7th, the action intensified. Japanese planes found and sank the American light carrier, the USS Shoho, with Admiral Inoue famously rated Scratch 1 flat top. It seemed the Japanese had the upper hand, but the main event was still to come. On May 8th, the two main carrier fleets finally found each other. It was a duel of giants. American planes from the carriers USS Yorktown and USS Lexington took to the skies, heading for the Japanese carriers Shokaku and Zuikaku. At the same time, Japanese aircraft were flying towards the American fleet. The sky became a chaotic whirlwind of dogfights and dive-bombing runs. The American pilots landed a heavy blow, severely damaging the Shokaku and forcing it to withdraw from the battle. But the victory came at a steep price. Japanese torpedo and dive bombers relentlessly attacked the USS Lexington, a massive carrier known as Lady Lex. Despite heroic damage control efforts, fires raged out of control, and the order was given to abandon ship. The loss of the Lexington was a huge tactical blow for the Allies. So, who actually won? On paper, it looked like a tactical victory for Japan. They sank a large fleet carrier, a light carrier, a destroyer, and an oiler, while only suffering damage to one of their light carriers. However, this is where the story gets interesting. Strategically, the Battle of the Coral Sea was a massive, game-changing victory for the Allies. Why? First, the Japanese invasion of Port Moresby was called off. The threat to Australia was averted. This was the first time since the start of the war that a major Japanese advance had been stopped in its tracks. Second, and perhaps even more importantly, was the impact on the Japanese carrier fleet. The Shokaku was so badly damaged it would be out of action for months. The Zuikaku, while untouched, had lost most of its experienced air crews and couldn't fight effectively. This meant that just 1 month later, when the decisive Battle of Midway took place, the Japanese Navy was missing 2 of its best carriers. This absence proved fatal and contributed directly to their catastrophic defeat at Midway, a loss from which the Imperial Japanese Navy would never truly recover. The Battle of the Coral Sea was the turning point that made the later, more famous victory possible. It proved that air power was now king of the seas and marked the high-water mark of Japanese expansion in the Pacific. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this piece of history as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into military history, and let me know in the comments what battle you'd like to see covered next. Until then, take care.